Welcome to the Two-Ton Nerds. As always, my name is Max James.
And my name is Scott Cooper.
Scott,
What?
we were gone a week.
I know we were gone for 7 days at least.
But we had a good
Yes.
reason. We were doing research, right?
What research were we doing?
We were playing video games, as always.
Oh yeah, we were, weren't we?
What games came out this past week? I know we're talking about games again, but that's what happened last week.
It happens sometimes in life, Max, is you talk about something that you just talked about because something just happened that we just talked about.
Yeah.
And what that is so this week in gaming, we had the release of some big titles this year. We had Mad Max,
which I bought.
We had Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain,
which Scott bought.
Yes.
So we both bought one or the other game. So
correct. And I think Max really just wanted Mad Max though, just because of the title of the game itself.
Well, I was actually looking forward to that game. I mean, I was equally looking forward to both games, but I just I knew you would get Metal Gear, and so I'm like, you know what, I'll get Mad Max so we can have something pretty good to talk about for the next podcast.
Right. But here is where the problem lies. Right
now. Neither of us has beaten the game.
Exactly. Because for one, I've not had a lot of time to sink into it, but I'm actually really enjoying myself just trying to do everything correctly.
Okay, before we kind of get into that, is there something about that game so far that you don't like? Because there's a lot of good, but there's only a few bad things I want to talk about my game. Is there any kind of something that kind of wish was changed a little bit when you were playing?
I want to be honest with you. No. That's how and you know me, I'm very critical when it comes to parts in gaming. But I will say that I'm going through what I've played so far, and I honestly can't tell you there's been a single part that I wish would be changed.
Or
what's that?
I'm just saying. Okay, that's all I was doing. So
yeah.
We might come back and answer this question when the game's all said and done. Definitely.
Yeah, we will.
Okay, so I'm actually a little bit farther ahead in my game than I would say you would in your game.
Probably.
Okay, so I have a better handle on what I don't like about the game. And really, there's only one thing I don't like about this game is locked missions, story mode missions. Because it kind of forces you to kind of play. I know that's kind of weird saying that it's kind of forcing you to play within the realm of this game, like the open world aspect. But I'm like, sometimes I just want to continuously do the story mode missions, and when you have to kind of stop all that momentum and go play and tear down metal structures or look for pieces of metal to help build your car and stuff like that, it's just kind of I kind of just wish I would just stick straight to the story mode missions. And so that's really about it. And then I was watching the IGN review and said there's a lot of repetition stuff in there. I'm like, I can definitely see that, but so far it hasn't bothered me. We keep doing the same stuff over and over again, but there's enough differences in everything that kind of okay, it'll kind of keep playing. But
yeah,
okay, that's really about it on bad. I just don't like how the missions are locked and forcing you to kind of go play in the world. I just want to just play straight through story mode, then go play.
How's the gameplay?
It's fun. That is another thing. I'm still kind of getting used to it because the game feels so much like Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah.
And I have to get used to that Max isn't athletic in that game. He's just punching people. So every time I'm constantly wanting to jump over them and then attack them from behind and slash their back and stuff like that. But no, I gotta just go straight on and beat them up, and then kind of dodge and evade by rolling instead of jumping over them. And like, oh, that's just that because I'm so used to doing that technique from Batman and Shadow of Mordor and a few other games. I was like, oh, just kind of have to adjust my
method of play.
yeah. But other than that, it's just that's just normal. But like I said, the locked missions are kind of like my worst thing about this entire game.
Right. How are the boss battles?
The boss battles are designed by camps because each camp has a kind of not every camp has a boss battle, but like the bigger ones has a boss battle. There, you just go up there and take on the big dog. That's what they're called, and then you beat them in this arena area on the top of the little base, and then you take it over, and the boss battles are fun. But
yeah, let me ask you this. Or I'm actually going to detour into a subject that I just came off the top of my noodle.
Okay.
Boss battles in video games, at least this year that I've noticed, have not been as frequent.
Yes, I've noticed that.
Agree with that?
Yes, but okay, I'll kind of go back to Mad Max on that one. But that kind of works in Mad Max though, because you don't need a boss battle for every place. You just kind of need like where I was at in the game before I quit last night. I met up with the big bad guy, and then you know how it's kind of like how in Arkham Knight, every time you kind of meet up with the Arkham Knight, something goes on and he goes away, and you keep going forward, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it is. You kind of meet up with the big bad guy of the game, and then it's like, oh, the floor collapses, and then you have to go.
You get to them, and you know.
Yeah, but that's fun like that because it kind of shows like the confrontation between the player and the big bad guy. But I think that works to the advantage of that game. But what other games have I played so far this year?
I know we were kind of disappointed in the boss battles of Arkham Knight.
Yeah, because
it was just tank.
Yeah,
tank after tank.
Because what was the boss battles in Arkham Knight, not Arkham City and Arkham Asylum? You like they were
good.
Yeah, you actually had like set boss battles.
Yeah, I mean, like I can tell you that the Arkham Asylum fight with Croc was nerve-wracking.
Yes, and kind of frustrating at points because you want to just run, but you got to walk slow.
Yeah, and it was just like, well, there was a nerve-wracking part in that game. And then even Arkham Origins, I thought had a really like its best boss battle was at the beginning of the game with Deathstroke.
No, I thought Origins had a nice collection of boss battles. So did Arkham Knight. It was the one that was lacking the most.
Yeah, and there's not. I'm trying to think of you had the boss battle technically with the Arkham Knight, but it really wasn't much of a boss battle. It was more like, hey, get up under me and get me from one of the Goliaths that I'm on, or gargoyles that I'm on. Goliath, gargoyle. Yeah, get me from one of the gargoyles that I'm on, and it's just like, okay, this isn't really much of a boss battle.
Yeah,
kind of disappointing with that regard. So that brings me to this question that I have for you. Name me, because I already know one of the answers. I want to know what your most favorite boss battle of all time and your least favorite boss battle of all time.
Oh,
you go first.
I'll tell you my worst one, and you absolutely.
I already know
yeah,
this one.
You know what? I have a scar to prove that one.
Yes, that's why I thought of this question, because I was like, we got to tell people why.
All right, my least favorite boss battle is Mortal Kombat 9, right?
Yes.
It was the final one with Shao Kahn and Raiden. Oh my god, I hate it.
I give you the worst character with the least amount of damage.
Yeah.
It's like the most overpowered thing ever.
No, it wouldn't. I mean, like, that's okay. But when you have to kind of, it's a fighting game. You have to add some different fighting moves into to make the kind of the final confrontation great, but you have to spam that stupid teleport flying move to beat him, and it's like, and then I got so mad I tore the joystick out of the controller.
Yes, you did.
And
That
then
was,
then I finally, it took me forever to fix it, and then
yeah. I wasn't there when you did that. You
yeah.
messaged me and said, Scott, I hurt my hand. I tore the joystick off of my hand. I cut my hand open.
Yeah, it didn't bleed. It was just like, oh crap. It's
Yeah.
but still, I hate that boss battle more than anything in the world. That was
So I had to I had to ask about it because it was just like, because I remember like you seething about that damn thing,
what
because the great thing about it is you were telling me how much you enjoyed that game
I
up
that I
up until that part.
I was in fully enjoying that game. I really was. I did. I mean, I've died a couple times during the other matches, but that was just normal gameplay deaths.
Yeah, the
But
difficulty was going up and up, but it took a huge
spike in
spike.
difficulty in
Yes.
that last boss battle with Shao Kahn. I was like, oh my god.
I remember like I had trouble with that boss battle too. I think we both. I think everybody did.
No, the thing is,
I
I think the thing is, I think the reason why you beat it and I couldn't is because I was just getting too frustrated with it, and you
yeah.
had kind of like a fresh mind. As how I'm justifying it.
Well, I saw you going at him first, so I was like, okay, that's how you don't do it.
Yeah, you learned from my mistakes.
Yes, but it still took me probably a good 20 or 30 tries
Yeah.
before I actually beat him,
So
because it was trial and error. And when you did beat him, it was one of those moments that you throw the controller down, you get up, and you do the proverbial DX sign, and you're just like, I've got two words for you, Shao Kahn, and you can suck it. And you're like, there's my damn trophy. Oh, it's done.
Nah.
Oh, Mortal Kombat, I'm through with you because I'm not going after my Kung Fu is stronger because that's 500 hours of bullshit.
I didn't even beat that game again. Just, I mean, like I like to beat my game at least a couple times.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what? I put it on the shelf and didn't even play it again. Just because of that stupid boss battle.
So that's your worst. Now you may not be able to narrow it down, but what are some of your favorite boss battles?
Favorite boss battle. All right, I'm trying to think. I have to say, a few of them came from the God of War series, of course. Just because they were kind of very epic and they felt good within the realm of the games. You know, like fighting Zeus or Poseidon or Hades. I know those are all from the last one from 3, but I thought all of them had. I liked the thing with the Colossus. You know, that giant statue. I thought that was fun.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying. I can't really narrow it down because if there's good boss battles, you kind of like put them all in the one category. They don't really stand out. You know, they just kind of like, oh, okay, that's a good boss battle. That'll keep me playing that game again. But
I mean, there's got to be one that like stood out, to you, that stood out just as good as as Mr. Shao Kahn did.
oh, okay, equally as good as the equally bad.
Yeah, that good feeling you have when you beat the boss. You're like, oh, that was a challenging boss, but it was just a really good boss battle.
I'm trying to think. I can't really think.
I'm trying to think of worst ones for me. I'm gonna go with WB making WB games and the Lego game creators making Lego Dimensions. That was the worst boss. Now, when it comes down to me, I honestly think the worst boss I've experienced that was just so frustrating that I just wanted to just say no to. There's a few of them, and the one in particular. Let me think, because there was one there was a point in time where I was just no, and I think it was. I think it's probably going to be like a Final Fantasy boss. In all honesty,
Right.
It was I think it was Final Fantasy IX. At least one of them. This is one of them. Because you could be like level 100 or level 99, go up to him, and he'll still kill you instantaneously, and you're like, what the hell?
Okay,
And it's just like those unfair things. It's like, oh, that takes a real skill, though. It's like there's no skill involved. It's luck.
I got okay. I figured
Yeah.
out my good one.
All right. What's your good one?
Okay, it comes from the classic Metal Gear Solid 2.
Oh,
Son,
there goes
is
Solid
it? Is
2.
it? What's the one? Guns of the.
2?
What's the tagline for that one? Or the subtitle? You know how it's like Metal Gear Solid 4, Sons of the Patriots. What's the
Guns of the Patriots.
Guns of the Patriots? Okay, okay. It's the battle. It not because it was a good one, just because that's the one that kind of stands out in my mind. It's the battle with Fat Man on top of the tanker.
Oh, Metal Gear Solid 2. Yeah. In
Yeah,
the hangar.
yeah. Okay, the reason why is because I kept dying, not because after killing him was easy. It was that last bomb, you know. And I was like, "Where is that?" Because you have to deactivate all the bombs, and
Yeah.
that last bomb is hidden underneath them. That's what I had fun. It's like it's obvious nowadays. It's like it's underneath them the entire time. All you have to do is pick them up and move them. But it's like that when I was like, "Where is this stupid bomb?"
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely one of the that's definitely one of the good ones. That's definitely. I mean, I'm still trying to think of like a work boss, and like I'm having problems like thinking of like frustrating boss battles because like I've eventually beat them all. I don't think there was a point in time I haven't.
Uh,
Even trying to think of something. Oh, it's not so much of a boss battle as it's the most difficult moment I've had in gaming.
what?
It was in Call of Duty Black Ops on veteran mode. At least it's the most difficult one I can remember because I was so frustrated. I almost ate my controller out of hatred. It was a point in time. You played Black Ops, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a point in time where
Remember
it's
we
like
played
mission
it like
4 or 5.
all the time.
Yeah, yeah, we did. So it was like mission 5 or something like that.
I
Where
never played the campaigns though for those
you
games.
never played the campaign.
No, I was strictly
I thought you
multiplayer.
played the. I thought you played the campaign in Black Ops 1.
No, I was more when I do campaigns for first person shooters, it's usually Battlefield.
Mm. Well, there's a particular part in Black Ops. It's you're facing off against the opposition. Obviously,
Okay.
they're on one side of the hill, you're on the other side of the hill, and your goal is to get uh, to spill these oil drums so you can light the hill on fire, so they'll clear out of the way.
Oh, is that where you're going down the hill? I think I remember this mission.
Yes, yes.
I mean, I played enough of it to know where you're at,
Yeah.
but I didn't beat the
It's
campaign.
so on veteran mode, you die in 3 shots, right?
Okay.
And I'm getting shot 4 or 5 times a second. Every time I'm running away, like I'm going to crawl. This was so bad. It took me 5 hours to do this part because I literally had to go prone and just start slowly crawling and slowly crawling. And I would crawl to the checkpoint and I would be like, oh my gosh, yes, checkpoint. And this would be like 15 feet away from where I was at because it was so bad. Like it was just so bad, and like I was just like, you got to be kidding me. Very difficult moment in gaming. It took me forever to do it, but it was really funny because after I had beat that part, it was on like one of the platinum trophy things. It was just like, if you can beat this part, you will platinum the game. It was like mission 5 of like 16 or something like that. So it was pretty funny in that regard because
Oh.
they're like, yeah.
Yeah, that reminds me. Speaking of stupid, frustrating parts in games, the 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 Flappy Goat achievement for Goat Simulator.
Yeah, you said that was dumb.
None of it was dumb. I mean, it was just I spent hours. I mean, like it was one of those things where it was daylight outside, and
Yeah.
then it was night.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That
it was actually it was slowly turning into night. Anyways, it was just kind of lost an hour or two.
that
That's all.
bad, huh? That's
But
pretty funny.
I finally beat it. I mean, it was very 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 frustrating. It was a terrible trophy. But
Yeah.
I understand why they put it in there to make it, because all the other trophies were extremely easy, but that one had to be tough. So they had to have at least one
You have to have one in there to make you actually
make it.
make it worth it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, so now for me, best boss battles. I would say what's really funny is, and the other reason why I thought of this topic is it harkens back to Metal Gear. Metal Gear has always been known for memorable boss fights, and to me, I can make you a top 10 list, and almost all of them will be Metal
Fine.
Gear
Hold
bosses.
on. What about we? All right. Well, we narrow the category down a little bit.
Okay.
What was your least favorite boss battle in Metal Gear? All of the series.
Least favorite boss battle. It's going to be Olga Galukovich on Metal Gear Solid 2.
Oh, is that like the scene where she is the fortune after all? Is that part?
Oh, no. That part is dumb, but that part I love because, and you're gonna know why I love this part. Where that guy
It's a
shoots the grenade
dud.
launcher. It's a dud, and I'm just like, that's what my band name's gonna be.
It's a dud.
It's a dud. Just the way he says it. It's a dud. Like who the that guy? They paid him some money. He overacted that day. He did everything he could. But no, the Fortune Medal's dumb. But I mean, I'm like, okay, I can buy this. No, the Olga Galukovich battle. It's on the tanker with Snake. It's the first boss battle.
Oh.
And the reason why I hate that is I don't hate the boss battle. I hate right after the boss battle.
Why?
Armpit hair.
Oh, I didn't notice any.
She has terrible armpit hair, and like you notice that before the fight and after the fight, and I'm just confused at that point. Like I was just like, no, this is bad. And the other boss battle would probably be oh, all the first Metal Gear bosses were awesome. Metal Gear Solid 2. Oh, I would probably also say the 50 Rexes you have to kill at the end of Metal Gear Solid 2.
Oh, yeah, I've had
that kind of. I forgot how hard that can kind of be sometimes.
No, it wasn't hard. It was just kind of like it didn't fit.
It lasts forever.
Yeah.
Just like it goes on and on. Like it doesn't end.
Yeah, I mean, like I like when you had the fight off the whatever the 1 and 4 when Ocelot was controlling it.
Oh yeah, Metal Gear Rex or Metal Gear Ray was awesome.
I like that one, but
that was a dream come true.
Yeah, but 2 was just terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one. Now
the one I was thinking of, it's one of the worst boss fights. Is Raging Raven from Metal Gear Solid 4.
Where you when you're on the motorcycle?
No, this is the one where you're. Well, I think she's on the motorcycle, but this is the one where you're
in the clock bell.
Yeah, in the
clock tower.
Yeah,
or the bell tower, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, because the camera angles work so much against you in that one.
Yeah, I remember that one. That one actually.
That one takes a while.
Yeah, out of all of them, that would be like my least favorite. Out of 4, definitely.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, but it was just like, man, like Laughing Octopus was really cool.
Yeah,
like that was a really cool model. Crying Wolf, I really loved.
That's what I liked that one because it was on Shadow Moses, and I liked it. That one actually was like very kind of awesome. I liked that one a lot.
There's a sentimental value to that one. But that harkens me back to like best bosses. So, but yeah, I mean, best bosses for me, Psycho Mantis, like from Metal Gear Solid, and I'm going with the Twin Snakes version, which a lot of people don't like Twin Snakes, but I'm like, I don't care, I loved it. But what's funny is each one, it's such a radical different way to think of a boss, because when I first played him, he's like sitting there and he goes, I'm gonna read your mind, and you're like, oh, okay, sure, whatever, man. like, whatever. All of a sudden, he starts telling you, I see that you played Castlevania. I'm like, what are you doing? And then he's like, I see that you don't. You see that you haven't saved. Ooh, that's going to be a problem for you. You're either very, very, very confident or
so
extremely careless.
okay, since I'm just gonna stick to the Metal Gear topic. Did you
Okay.
like playing as Raiden? Sorry.
It didn't really matter to me. I mean, I wasn't. I'm not one of the ones that's like, was I confused at first? Yes. I think I told you the story about me and Spencer playing it.
Yeah.
We were confused, like, because we played the tanker mission, and then all of a sudden, like, they started calling him Snake by his code name, and I'm like, that doesn't sound like Snake, nor does Snake's ass look like that.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, he takes the thing off, and he takes his mask off, and I'm just like, okay. But I mean, the more and more I played, like, he was a little whiny, but at the same time, this is more about, I understood it, and I understand what Kojima's doing. Like, it took me a long time. At first, I was mad I played at him, played as him, but now that I'm over, I see it as more of, this was a view from the outside looking in at how great Snake actually is. So yeah,
Yeah, I didn't mind it either. I thought it was fun.
no, I mean, it was,
It'd been funner to play as Snake, but I mean, I wouldn't like. I'm not throwing the game under the bus because
it,
Raiden
it
or
yeah, it would have been. It definitely would have been. But it is what it is, and I
it still
I
provided a bunch of memories. That's what it did.
so many great boss battles in that game.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, but I have to say my favorite Metal Gear boss fight,
Okay.
outside of Psycho Mantis. Psycho Mantis is up there. I gotta go with the end because there's so many ways that, like, it's the first boss I remember that you can actually kill before the boss battle.
There's like three different ways, right? You can actually find them close. I mean, or in that, or you can
You
like,
you can, like, when you first actually meet him, you can go and just kill him, and then he's done, and you'll never see him again. Or you fight him like you usually do. You can tranquilize him, go up, hold him up, and everything like that.
yeah,
And that's how you have to get his camo. Or you can actually
set your
just
clock fast.
set your clock
Yeah,
uh, past like a year or something like that,
yeah.
and go back, and he died from old age.
I think that's pretty cool. I like that.
It's the small things like that that are in the games. You're just like, really, like, wow, that's hilarious. Like, you wouldn't think of something like that, but I mean, it's there. It's very fun. But to kind of stay on the subject, but not really. My main complaint is, I hate when, like, one of the final segments of a game is on rails.
Oh,
Like, you're like, and Metal Gear is really notorious for this. You're in the shooting section
yeah.
where it's making you shoot people. Like, I think all of them but number two did that, because number one has it at the end, and number three has it with Eva, and number four has it with Eva again. And I haven't done it in five. And five doesn't really seem like it's going that route, but that's kind of that kind of, like, I was like, oh, really?
All right, let's go back to 5 real quick. Since okay, you've only completed 6 missions out of 19 or
I've com-
16 or whatever
no,
you said.
I've completed 6 missions out of 30.
30. Okay, so out of those 6 missions, how is the game?
It's amazing.
Amazing. Okay, one word. That's good enough for me. Okay, now we've also missed some. Moving on, we're not going to just talk about games in this podcast. There's other things that had happened this past week while we were off researching.
Sting came back.
Yeah, haven't really talked about wrestling in this, have we?
No, we haven't. No.
Right.
If you guys don't know, me and Max are actually huge wrestling fans.
Yeah.
Not amateur style wrestling. Not Greco-Roman. Not TNA.
Nope.
We are WWF/E fans.
Yeah. I'm in front of my television at 8 o'clock every day, every Monday at 8 o'clock, ready for Monday Night Raw. I don't watch
I'm
SmackDown.
in front of my TV every night watching Channel 39 TNT, waiting to watch Nitro at 7 o'clock.
Well, I did watch Nitro too, but
I'd
that's
always
back
watch
in
the first hour of Nitro and then switch over to Raw is what I would do. And then leave one tape recording for Nitro.
Uh-oh. But anyways, Sting did come back. But anyways, there was a passing of a horror icon, a horror directing icon.
He's an icon horror. I mean, that's understatement.
Yeah, it's Wes Craven. He passed away. From what I read, it was brain cancer or something like that.
Yeah, it was brain cancer.
Yeah,
I believe he was 76 or something like that.
Yeah. I think that's what it was. So, let's talk about his movies. I know you're not. I don't think you're really into horror, are you? I mean,
not like crazy into horror, but
like,
I mean,
I am in Spencer, like how me and Spencer.
Yeah, like you and Spencer, and like Spencer's always been that way. I am into some of the horror flicks and things like that.
Okay, you don't completely just whatever, stay away from it.
No, I'll watch it. I mean, I'll watch it, but I'm more of I like to watch horror movies in a group. Not that I'm scared of it, but I like to see everybody else's reaction, because that's where I get my horror movie vibe from.
And the banter between people.
Yeah, the banter between people. That's what I like.
So, okay. Hold on, before we go back in the what's it called, Wes Craven, would you ever watch Teeth again?
No.
That's what I thought. Okay.
My wife thinks it's funny too, by the way, because every time that movie's on Netflix, she's like, "Hey, we should watch this," and I'm like,
"No." One word answers again. Okay, back to Wes Craven. Okay, what's your favorite Wes Craven movie?
I'm gonna pick with a less popular one, but it's my absolute favorite movie that I can watch over and over again, and that's New Nightmare.
No, not bad. I mean,
and the reason being is just, like I said, I've seen a majority of the Nightmare on Elm Streets, and like I love that particular take on that character. I believe that movie, if that movie was done 10 years down the road, I understand what the cast and everything like that, but I thought the movie was out of place for its time. Like, the movie was in 1993, 1994. I feel like that movie would resonate more today than it did back then.
So you're saying that should have been the one that came out instead of the other one, or the new one?
Yeah, and I didn't mind the new one. I didn't mind it, but it was pale in comparison to that one.
Well, just the way you were saying, it's like this should be the one that
it should have been. I mean, to me, that's how it is. This should have been the take on Freddy Krueger. Like, hi, this is what I am. This is the true evil I am.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Mine, I can't really pick one because I like him. I like a good portion of his movie, like all equally, and not one really stands out above the rest. I mean, like, I love all 4 Scream movies. I like all the ones that he did contributed to the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. The ones he even wrote but didn't direct.
Yeah,
I think he wrote 3 but didn't direct it. So, or helped write 3 or whatever you want to put it. Then New Nightmare wasn't bad. Just The Hills Have Eyes and what other ones? The Last House on the Left. All those movies. I liked them all equally.
Yeah, I mean, Craven is definitely up there when it comes to I mean, remember, and everyone knows the name too. I mean, he's not just it's not just one thing.
But
I mean, like the people under the stairs and things.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
I forgot about that one. I love that one.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that My Soul to Take was a popular one. Yeah, it wasn't a bad one. Red Eye was an interesting one. But here's the thing: he was able to cover all spectrums of the genre. I mean, Swamp Thing. A lot of people didn't know he did Swamp Thing. Like, you had your Freddy Krueger, and you also had your Wishmasters and things like that. So
I haven't
I mean,
watched any of the Wishmaster movies. Yeah,
yeah,
Wishmaster movies. I haven't watched any of them.
I mean, it just you know, it's just you have a lot of good stuff. I mean, mostly in the Nightmare, in the Nightmare series, but it was just still that series just is timeless. I enjoyed Scream too. I really did.
I like that one because it it took itself serious, but at the same time, it was having so much fun in the horror genre. That's what I liked
Yeah,
about it.
exactly.
It was equally scary, but at the same time, it was equally funny. Because if you
Yeah.
knew all the horror tropes and stuff like that, I'd be like, "Oh, it's perfect. That's funny."
Hmm.
And speaking of Scream, my favorite scene in Scream is when Jamie Kennedy is running down the horror rules. I absolutely love that stuff in that movie.
Yeah.
When he's I think he's doing it in the video store, and when he's doing it at the party, running down all the horror movie stuff, doing don'ts. I was like, that is just stuff I love when it comes to watching horror movies. I love when they kind of point that stuff out, and they end up doing it anyways. Like, you don't run upstairs. What you do, she runs upstairs. And it's just that kind of stuff I like. So,
So, I 100% agree with you. So, do you know that Wes Craven, uh, after New Nightmare was directed, you know what his next movie was?
what?
Vampire in Brooklyn.
Oh, I forgot.
So yes, there were some good ones and there were some not so good ones.
Yeah.
And there's also a movie that I didn't know he directed. It was called Music of the Heart
I didn't.
with Meryl Streep, Aidan Quinn.
Yeah.
You know who Aidan Quinn is, right?
Nope.
Let
You
me
tell
see.
me.
What is he? He's been. Have you watched Elementary?
Oh, yeah.
He's the detective, or he's Gregson. That's Detective Gregson. Angela Bassett and Gloria Estefan. This is directed by Wes Craven. Like, it's really confusing that Wes Craven did this.
Oh man, what
That's
else did we miss
hilarious.
this week? That's what the title of this podcast is: the things we missed while we're geeking out.
McDonald's is bringing breakfast all day.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah, they are. Starting in October, they were doing breakfast all day.
Oh, I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
don't eat enough McDonald's to know that stuff.
yeah, well, it's everywhere, man. It is what it is.
Okay, speaking of that, it is what September. It's September, so the pumpkin spice stuff is about the.
Oh shit! Yes,
Is there anything pumpkin spice you like?
I hate pumpkin spice. I don't like pumpkin. I don't even like pumpkin pie. Like, some people call me like crazy for that,
Okay,
but I'm just like,
you're half crazy to me because there's one in particular that I love more than anything.
hmm.
It's the pumpkin pie blizzard from Dairy Queen. Oh dear God, that is the one thing I like. That's pumpkin. I mean, I could care less about pumpkin spice lattes or coffee or anything else, or even pumpkin pie itself. Ah,
I
pumpkin
mean,
pie blizzards.
this year we're just going crazy. We have pumpkin pie Pop Tarts, pumpkin pie Hershey Kisses. We have the Lindor chocolate puffle pumpkin pies. We have pumpkin raisin crunch. We have Samuel Adams with pumpkin spice in
Well,
it.
that's kind of normal for them. I mean, like stuff that you don't normally see is pumpkins. Like what? But pumpkin beer and stuff like that is kind of like normal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like, okay.
When
And
you
there
have
was
like
some
pumpkin
pumpkin
flavored
pie,
something,
pumpkin spice peeps. Like, that just sounds gross.
yeah, that. And I'm not really a big peep fan to begin with, but ugh, God.
You have pumpkin spice latte and pecan pie M&Ms. That's just ugh.
Okay, that's what else did we miss? We covered pumpkin spice, Wes Craven, Mad Max.
Oh, VMAs.
I didn't care.
I didn't either.
But no.
Facebook made me not care.
Oh, the thing is, I cared enough to know that it was on 8 different channels.
It's like, does it really fucking matter anymore?
No, It was on. Okay, I don't remember every single channel it was on, but it was on Comedy
And
Central.
TV 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, 8 billion, whatever. All, and it was just like, seriously, 8 channels for one show. But
That doesn't even matter.
yeah, but the thing is, if you rewind this at least 15 years, at least it was on one channel. You know what I mean? I think it was on at least still on one channel.
Uh-huh.
It's still on MTV, not on Comedy Central and TV Land. And
Isn't MTV the station that used to play music videos?
I have no idea anymore.
Yeah,
No.
I wasn't alive then.
Okay.
No, but I mean, with the VMAs, we missed Kanye West announcing he's going to run for president in 2020.
His oh, who cares?
Just things you don't care about. Like, I don't pay no heed to the celebrities. Like, I don't give a shit. Go do what you want to do. I don't care.
I don't know. The VMAs are very what's it called? They just don't count anymore. I mean, I think they counted enough to where it was just fun, like a fun award show.
Yeah. I remember when it was fun. Like when cool shit was there.
Yeah, but now it's just like, eh.
It's like the MTV Movie Awards. Like, those don't matter.
Oh, speaking of those, those are the most predictable award-winning shows of all time. If
they are,
if it was a Twilight movie nominated, it won.
It was gonna win. Yeah, because that's what. Oh yeah, Twilight. Like, do you know what a good movie is? Like, the people that are even making those movies are like, we know these suck, but they're going to make money.
Well, the thing is, when I was watching the Oscars one year, it was when Trent Reznor was nominated for the Social Network score.
Right.
And I'm like, that's why I was watching it. And I'm like, I was actually like, every other score on the card was like, this one could win, this one could win, this one can win.
Yeah, it was like they all deserved to be there.
Yeah, and then when Trent Reznor finally won the Oscar, I'm like, oh, that was so cool. I mean, like, when you watch the Oscars, they all definitely deserve to be there in some form or another. Some maybe not so much as others, but they all deserve to be there in some form. Yeah. But when it comes to the VMAs, it's like, or the music awards, it's like, yeah, who cares?
Yeah, seriously, it's like, we'll just mail this one in. Here you go. Here's a Moon Man. Here's a, like, they don't have as much meaning anymore. I mean, the Oscars even don't have any much more meaning. I mean, at least like you said with the Oscars, you have people there that might deserve it. But my problem with the Oscars is
it's no. Hold on. Oh, okay. It's the people who are in the Oscars are actually people who have respectability. Let's say, put that.
Yes, and I agree with you on that. My problem with the Oscars is usually movies I never even heard of or watched win.
Oh well, I have. I usually set out to see these movies.
Yeah.
Well, around here, those movies aren't as, what would you say, popular, and so I mean, they're not really prominent.
It's not really heavily. They're not. Some of them aren't even heavily marketed.
I know. I had to wait for Birdman to come out on DVD before I had to see it.
Yeah.
And like the Grand Budapest Hotel and stuff like that. I was like, I had to wait for them on DVD, or to be on television before I seen them. Before, like, oh, good. And then when I finally did, I'm like, oh man, I totally would have seen this in theaters if it was like out. So it was like, yeah. But let's see, what else did we miss while we were geeking out? But I'm gonna go back to Mad Max real quick, because there's a lot of cool features in that game that needs to be talked about. Because, Scott, have you ever been driving a game and wanted to be able to run out of gas?
I haven't, but it would make sense that it would happen, though.
Yeah. Well, this game, you can do that. You have to like constantly watch your fuel gauge. That's what's cool about it. And then you have to like then constantly keep your canteen filled up with water, and it was just a little bit of touches like that makes that game awesome. I get my score for Mad Max is probably about a 8.5. It was definitely worth it. It's definitely worth a buy. It was definitely worth my time.
That's good.
and the thing is, it feels like a Mad Max addition to the
Franchise.
yeah, it feels really good because have you ever seen any of them?
I think I've seen the first one or two of them.
Okay. Well, okay, well everyone has like outside of Max, everyone has these ridiculous names. Like in the movies, some people are called Humongous and Toe Cutter and what and everything in between. And the game kind of carries that tradition on. And it's like there's just people that have names are just out there. I'm like, it's.
Now, is this game based on the movie? Is it congruent with the movie? What
I
is
have
it?
no idea yet, and I'm not looking into that until I beat the game.
Hmm.
Because okay, there's a little mild spoiler for Mad Max the movie. The movie starts out with him in the Interceptor. That's his
Okay.
black car. That's his black on black car, the Mad Max car, and he has a beard. But in the game, you lose the Interceptor right off the bat, and then even in the movie, you lose it right off the bat. So I really don't know. So I'm just kind of
Hmm.
like, I'm gonna wait until I beat the game, and then I'll kind of look into if it does fit at all. So
Yeah, I mean, because they timed the game to be released right when the movie came out.
no, well on DVD,
Yeah.
but they actually kind of I don't it. It's a movie licensed game that actually is good. What it boils down to. It's just a very good game. I
I
liked it.
mean, and it is rare to have good licensed games.
Yeah. Oh man, some of them are just plain bad. Did you ever play? I'm trying to think. Okay, well, there's a new topic. Um, Worst movie licensed video game that you played.
Movie or just like actual like just a licensed character?
Licensed anything.
Okay. Batman Dark Tomorrow.
What's that one?
It's for the GameCube, and for the PlayStation 2, and for the Xbox.
Oh, I never played that one.
It was good. I made it through the first level, and then after that, I made it to the point where I was down an alleyway and I was getting shot, and I was following the controls, or at least what the game said were controls.
Yeah.
And I eventually just kept dying because my character either one would grip like the wrong thing or do the wrong thing, and I was just like, I'm no longer interested in playing this game. So I turned off my GameCube, opened the thing up, placed the disc back in there, closed it up, politely went to my father and said, Dad, this game sucks. It was terrible.
Mine would have to be The Thing video game.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that was good.
No, I couldn't. I just couldn't get into it. And plus, I think I talked about this in an earlier podcast. That's like the one game that I can't beat. For some reason, I just can't. I've beaten a lot of hard games, but that one is just like, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was just terrible. And given that I'm such a big fan of the John Carpenter one, and I did enjoy the new thing as well. I did.
Yeah, we enjoyed that. I thought that was decent.
Yeah. But it was just like that game was just terrible. That was my one licensed one that I played. That I'm sure I played others, but that one's the one that kind of stands out to me right now.
What's your best licensed game you played?
Probably outside of the realm of Batman.
Yeah, I'll say outside of the Arkham series.
Because we talked about them. That's pretty tough. Oh, hold on. I'll go back to another bad one. Licensed Predator, Concrete Jungle.
Oh, I heard that was awful.
Yeah, that was pretty terrible. I couldn't get. I mean, I got pretty far. I got pretty decently good at it, and then there was a part in the game where it just kind of like, I just couldn't get past something. I think it was one of those drone things, or I don't know what it was, walking the streets or something like that. It was just like kept killing me, and I had to go that way, or I don't know, but licensed favorite one outside of the realm of Arkham. Um, I would have to say, ooh, I would have to put Mad Max or The Shadow of Mordor, like Lord of the Rings and Mad
Yeah.
Max. So I mean, so that would be my two. That would be my licensed favorites. So
Okay. It makes yeah. That's pretty good choices.
even though I'm not saying that just because they're recent. I'm just saying that they are actually good games. I
Well,
mean,
licensed games have
yeah,
gotten a lot better because they all used to be terrible.
yeah.
I mean, take a look at the South Park games. Like, look at the Stick of Truth now.
Oh, I never got to play that.
Yeah, I wanted to play it. It's not on next gen. I want to play the new one, the Fracture with the Whole.
Yeah, I'll probably will
Uh,
get that one.
yeah, I want that game because they look so well done.
Then I did play the Scorpion King for the PlayStation 2.
That had to have been terrible.
Actually, you know what? I beat that game,
Oh,
so it wasn't that bad. So,
wow.
it wasn't that. How would I put it? It was mediocre.
Yeah.
It didn't really stand out, but it didn't really like bomb. It was just like it was kind of like God of War esque. That's how the best way to kind of put it. But it was just not very good. I mean, it was just mediocre. I mean, I've played worse games and I played obviously much better games. So
Okay. So let's flip the script. What is your least favorite and favorite movie based on a license,
like
such as like a video game?
so like a video game came first.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Worst. Okay, I'll talk. I'll
Anything
say
but anything.
my favorite,
Okay.
and I'm probably going to get a lot of crap for this. 110 times. I'm probably going to get like the episode of Raw where all the McMahon and the Spirit Squad is standing on the
Yeah.
stage.
And just a big thing of poop just trims down. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to say the Resident Evil movies.
Wow.
I like them a lot. I do enjoy the Resident Evil movies. Um, but my least favorite, ooh, I don't know. Um, even like the Mario Brothers has nostalgia feeling, so you can't really discredit that.
Terrible movie, but it's watchable
Yeah,
because it's so terrible.
yeah, and to me, I thought it was a fun. It was a fun enough movie to
Yeah, it's a
watch.
fun movie to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like, but just like downright like terrible. Like, don't get nothing really right about it. Even though the Mario Brothers movie did get a lot of things right, to me, I mean, like they had all the characters, but they had to bring them to life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, like the Goombas and all that good stuff. As
Yes.
ridiculous as everything was in that movie, it was a fun movie to watch.
It had charm to it.
Yeah, and so, but licensed terrible from game to movie. Ooh, that's I don't know. Name some stuff. I'm drawing such a blank.
Anything but you bowl.
Oh, okay. Now I'm not okay. I'm trying to justify this and I can't. I did like okay. I can justify one movie though of his. I did enjoy Postal. I thought that movie because you know what Postal is. That game is just ridiculous to begin with.
Yes.
And
yes.
so the movie has to be equally ridiculous as well. And I thought it was pretty well, and I liked everyone in the movie as well. But Uwe Ball is just kind of, yeah, pretty much his movies. That's good. That's actually a pretty good answer.
Yeah. I mean, I would say those movies suck. I don't waste my time watching them. My biggest disappointment, though, after the sheer amazingness of which I think it's my favorite licensed movie, is Mortal Kombat, the first Mortal Kombat.
Oh, I totally forgot about them too.
So good, so good.
I enjoyed the first one.
Then came the turd that was the second movie.
See, the thing is, your favorite is directed by my favorite.
Oh, it's directed by the same guy,
Yeah,
Anderson, right?
yeah.
Yeah, but
So,
did he direct two?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think he went
two
on to
was
did. I think he did something else.
because two was just so damn terrible. I mean, not only like because the first one ends in like the most epic way
Yeah, with
ever
Shao
with
Kahn breaking down the
with
temple
yeah
and
Christopher Lambert. His rating was super badass. And then you had Robin Shoes, Liu Kang. You had Johnny Cage and you had Sonya Blade, and everybody was sitting there. And like I can even recite to this day, like all of a sudden, like the lightning, the thunder, and everything like that, and the terrible special effects
then
of
the
it
music kicked
was.
in.
He's like, "You weak, pathetic fools! I have come for your souls." And then Raiden, who has not fought once in this movie, his badassness comes through,
Yeah.
and like I was just like, "Oh, it was so awesome!" And then the number two comes out. I was in theaters, by the way, when I saw this movie,
Oh well.
and the sheer shit fest that it was just absolutely ridiculous. The opening part, Johnny Cage dies. So I'm like, all that shit you build up, you just kill this guy, who, by the way, isn't the same Johnny Cage. He's a terrible lookalike.
I would have to say that would be my most disappointing movie moment because I
Yeah,
like Johnny Cage. Not, I mean, up there in terms of like movie, video game to movie moments. Killing
he
off Johnny
was,
Cage that fast.
yeah, was so stupid. I mean, it did nothing. It did absolutely nothing for the story. Like his death wasn't even like Sony was just like, okay,
Even though she screamed, and it's like Johnny. I think right.
oh, and let's talk about Sonya in that movie too. She was terrible. Um,
Oh, it was a different one than that one,
absolutely.
wasn't there?
Yeah. Sonya in the first one was good. But in the second movie, she was terrible. Sub Zero's brother in the second one was absolutely terrible. And he wasn't terrible. He wasn't on screen enough. That was my problem. Like he has a 2-minute part, says, "When time comes, I'll be there for you," and never shows up again. Like I'm just like, okay. And the only thing that's in my head now is like it has all these characters that don't even fucking matter. Like you have like all of a sudden it introduces the characters from Mortal Kombat 3, and I would never forget it. Like Nightwolf, they introduced him, and the only part I remember like specifically for Nightwolf is when they're sitting there meditating, and the terrible voiceover work just starts. It's like, believe in your animality, your animality, your animality, your animality, your animality, your
Okay.
animality. And I'm just like, bring me back to reality, 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 reality.
And that movie's special effects weren't that good either.
They were not.
Okay. They were, even when they transformed into their animality.
Yes, exactly.
It was terrible.
There needs to be a meme of that. Yeah, it was terrible. Like he what did he turn into? A dragon?
I
It
don't
was
know.
like 3-headed. Like
Yeah, Shao
just
Kahn
like-
did.
yeah, and what Liu Kang turn into?
I don't know. I think a wolf or something.
A wolf? Yeah, it made no sense for Liu Kang to turn into that.
Or some, I'm not. We could be totally off,
It
but
looked terrible. And then you had that half centaur, half I can't remember his name.
no, the makeup on that was pretty good. But the thing is, I put the animality special effects up there with Spawn when Satan shows up in that movie.
Oh my god! The worst thing about Spawn's a good license movie though.
Yeah.
John Leguizamo, like, how can you have something that looked that good, and like the cape and everything, and then you have the terrible Satan special effects?
I know.
Did they spend all their money on Leguizamo's outfit, his makeup?
You know what? I really want to watch Spawn now
Yeah.
because I like that movie a lot.
Leguizamo did perfect. He was perfect in that movie.
He was really good in that movie. He really
was. Like you would not believe that was him.
Well,
Like that's Luigi.
With the way he smiles, I can tell it's him.
Yeah,
he has a very distinct smile.
He does.
Okay, I found one. Let's talk about the DOA movie.
The DOA movie.
the Dead or Alive,
Oh,
extreme beach volleyball.
yeah. Well, no, it's not the beach volleyball one. It's based off of
Yeah,
the
the
actual
fighting
fighting
game.
game.
Yes, I know.
I've not watched that one, and I'm not going to waste my time.
You should watch it.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Is it bad?
Let's just put it this way. Me, you, Spencer, Jess, Seth should all be in the same room and watch this movie, just to tear it to pieces.
That good, huh?
And provide a commentary track so people can watch along with this movie.
That sounds pretty good.
Which I think we should do sometime.
It'd be nice.
Do a commentary track for a movie.
Yeah, we could definitely do something along those lines. Do you remember how great Street Fighter was?
Oh, with Jean-Claude?
Yes. Another movie that was terrible, but it had charm.
Yeah, I like that one. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it had a lot of charm to it.
I'm trying to think. What other game movie license? Yeah, Uwe Ball is top. Terrible.
Well, we've got the Assassin's Creed movie coming out with Michael Fassbender.
Okay. I am not the biggest Assassin's Creed fan, video game wise, but I'm a big enough Michael Fassbender fan to actually kind of warrant this a watch.
Yeah.
Like,
do you think it's going to be good?
I need to see some footage. I know there's a picture of him out, and it looks pretty decent, but I need to see some kind of footage first.
I'm more interested in seeing his portrayal of Steve Jobs.
Yeah, I'm more excited to see the Jobs movie than.
Yeah, not the Ashton Kutcher version either.
Did you see that one?
I didn't see that one, no.
I enjoyed that one.
I
mean, even though it had some decent moments in there. It really did. I mean, people might put it down, but I liked it.
Well, I only put it down because Ashton Kutcher.
Oh, well, you don't like it? You don't like Kutcher?
No.
Oh, I like him. But he's no Justin Timberlake.
No.
Okay, well, Scott, I think we have run out of time for this episode. We actually created some good content for our next video.
Yes, we have.
Okay, is there one thing that you want to say before we go? Like anything on your game that stood out or anything like that?
The one thing that I want to tell people is that the Fulton system on Metal Gear, the ability to just put a parachute on something and watch it whisk away, I wish that was a real thing. Like, I know it's a real thing, but I wish I could just do it.
I seen it done to a sheep or something like that, and I'm like, that is funny.
It's hilarious. Yes, I did it to a sheep. I did it to a bear as well, and the bear got mad at me.
I think that's funny. I like that kind of humor. It's like, oh, there it goes. Goodbye.
Yeah, it's like there was a specific side op mission from the main story. There was a side op. It said, you're going to have to rescue the poor little lost black sheep in that little village over there. So I'm like, are you kidding me? So inside the village, there is a small farm, and he's like guarded by 20 soldiers.
Oh,
so I had to take out each soldier, and then I had to whisk him away.
That's funny. That's extremely funny.
It's that kind of humor that makes Metal Gear work, though.
Yeah. Okay. The one thing that I want to say with Mad Max is that it feels like a Mad Max game. I mean, it feels like I know I already said this, but it does feel like it's within the realm of the movies and stuff like that. It does have a nice feel to it. And if you've never played it, but knowing a lot about the game or movies, is that there's these things called hood ornaments in the game. They kind of give you like these little boosts and stuff like something extra, but they're kind of artifacts from the movies, like from the bad guys and good guys and stuff like that. So it's kind of like Max is really kind of like the last man standing from everything. So it's pretty cool. There's like from what's it called? From Road Warrior, there's the gyro captain. You can like put his helmet on the hood of your car and stuff like that. So that's like, oh, that's pretty cool. And even Thunderdome makes an appearance in here
Oh, really?
in the game. Yeah, I was debating on saying that or not, but that's not really a spoiler, but it's like, oh, it's just one of those moments like, oh, that's so cool. So,
Yeah.
but I think it's actually, I don't know if it's called Thunderdome. I think they call it Murder Dome or something like that, but it's Thunderdome. That's exactly, because they keep saying 2-man enter, 1-man leave, and that's what they said in Thunderdome. So.
Yeah.
Okay, that is it for this episode. As always, my name is Max James.
And my name is Max James.
I don't think so.
My name is Scott Cooper.
There
I'm
we
so
go.
sorry.
Yeah.
I read your lines.
Get it right. And we are going to go geek out.